and welcome to the Honeybee Fibercast. I am Stephanie, also known as Knitwit08 on Ravelry. I am sritter413 on Instagram, which I am changing to Honeybee Fiber Arts on Instagram just to make it easier. I'm going to try to figure out how to change it on Ravelry as well. I apologize if you hear noise in the background. I have dogs. I'm in my outside porch because it is extremely hot today, like 81, and it is humid because it stormed all night. So I'm sitting in my three seasons room, I guess is what you'd call it, and my dogs are outside, so you can hear them whining because they hear my voice and they want inside. They're mama's dogs. And you may occasionally hear my kitten. She's running around with me. Little background information on me. I am a born and bred military brat, so I've lived everywhere. I now live in Michigan, where I've been for the past 7 years now. I moved it back in 2006 from Iceland. I have been knitting since I was 17, since 2007. I've been crocheting since I was about 8, but heaven forbid I make anything more than a chain. I can't read patterns. I don't even know the stitches. I think I know like double crochet, maybe treble crochet, single, slip stitch, chain. That's kind of it, but heaven forbid I read a pattern or know any other stitches. I do know the shell stitch, but that one's just kind of rudimentary to me in a way. I have also delved into spinning. For the past couple months, I've been nagging at my husband. I was like, I want to spin. I just thought it was something that I could do. So in July, my husband made me my own drop spindle. It's like the third week of July, and I learned how to spin on a drop spindle, and then I'm tapping my foot, and my cat, she's like maybe 5 weeks old, is deciding it's a toy, going all psycho ninja cat on it. But about 3 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, a friend of mine, Nancy, gave me a loaner spinning wheel. She wanted me to learn how to spin on a wheel, and she sent that home with me, and I learned how to spin on a spinning wheel, and I've been pretty much addicted to it ever since. She named it Eileen. I call it Freya. Freya is the Norse mother of the gods. I'm real big into Norse mythology. I did live in Iceland for 3 years. And Freya she's the Norse mother of the gods, but she's also the goddess of love and fertility, which another Instagram follower and I thought was kind of ironic because she's been treating me really well, hasn't really given me any issues. And since I've started spinning, I've made tons and tons and tons of yarn. I've also started dyeing my own fiber as well. I don't use chemical dyes or anything like that. I use food coloring and Kool-Aid. But I use my dye baths, and I make my dye baths in such a way that none of the colors bleed or anything like that. So it works out pretty well for me. I've been married for a year and a half. Got married April 13th of 2012. I have 3 dogs and a 10-year-old Siberian Husky Shepherd mix. Her name is Sophie. I have a 9-month-old rat terrier. Her name is Sadie, and a 7-month-old Black Lab Australian Shepherd mix, and her name is Mashi. Her name was originally Sasha, but my husband can't pronounce Sasha to save his life. God bless him. And so we called her Mashi instead, which I believe is the Russian derivative. But then we found out it is also Japanese for weasel. So her nickname is Atashamash, and that means fat weasel. So I feel like a great pet mom. And then there's my kitten, and her name is Cardigan, of course, because I'm that obsessed. I decided I'd start this podcast. I do everything else. I have a shop, www.etsy.com/shop/honeybeefiberarts, and I'll put a link in the show notes. It's also on my Ravelry page, my Facebook page, and Instagram. So yeah, I do everything else. So I figured I might as well do this too. Like, I figured I'd need another hobby, like I need a hole in the head. But hey, why not? I guess I will go into what I am currently working on, my works in progress. I am working, don't need that. I have whips in my purse that my foreign exchange student got me from Thailand. And the cool thing about it is it's got this lining that has this drawstring, so it closes nice. It's like an oversized project bag, and that's what I told my mother when I showed it to her. The only thing is everything falls to the bottom, so everything else that I have in here. Okay. Crap. This is when I remember that I need to clean out my purse more often. I am currently working on a hitchhiker shawl by Martina Bem. You caught me when I was halfway through a row. I am about 27 points through. I know that it's wool and it's fingering weight. I could not tell you who it is by or what company it is or anything like that. I am a very bargain shopper, and I found it at Goodwill for 79 cents. At last measurement, when I weighed the remainder of this, it was about 100 grams is what it was, and I'm halfway through the shawl, so I know I'll have at least plenty. So I'll do the 42 points, and if I've got more, I'm just going to go on. It's going to be a Christmas gift for my stepsister-in-law, my husband's stepsister. Because it's a gray color, she can wear it to work, and it'll match with everything like that. It's just like a slate, maybe charcoal gray, something like that. It looks, yeah, I don't know if the color shows up. Yeah, that's what it looks like. So yeah, that's what I've been slowly working on when I'm not spinning. It's kind of like my travel project. The other thing I have on the needles, it has been a love and hate relationship with this project. I just don't even know. Let me dig it out here. I have a really good friend of mine who lives. I've known him for 10 years or so. For a long time, since about 2000, so 13 years. Holy cow! Asked me if I would knit him some socks. He's very particular on what he wants to wear and his clothes and everything. He wants to switch his wardrobe to 100% made in the USA. So he went online, ordered some 100% recycled cashmere yarn from like sweaters or something on eBay. Had it sent to my house and asked me if I would knit him socks. I said, yeah, no problem. Well, there is a problem. I had to ply it. This is 3 strands, and I don't know if you can tell just how thin that is. I wonder if it'll focus at all. I'm doing this on my tablet. It is super thin. It's more like a light fingering weight now that I've plied it. But the issue that I'm having if I can find the other end of it. Of course I can't. Is it breaks. It just kind of, see, it just shreds at the slightest tug. And I don't know what to do about that. I've plied it, and I've started the toe. I've started the toe like 100 million times just because I don't know of a good pattern. He wants just plain socks. I don't know how many stitches to cast on what size needles or anything like that. I've tried and they all just seem too big, and then I remember it's a man's foot. So this is kind of where it's been, and I got the yarn in June. No, I got it in May over Memorial Day weekend. And this is where it's been because he's such a good friend of mine that I don't want to make the socks. I have no issue making the socks. But he paid good money for the yarn. I don't want to send him socks that are going to fall apart in his shoes. I make good quality socks. That's never the issue. But because of the yarn being so fragile, I have a fear that as soon as he puts them on and wears them throughout the day, he's going to take them off at the end of the first day and there's going to be holes in them where they've just shredded. And I don't want to do that. So I might knit him one pair, send them to him and see how he likes them and if they work and everything. And if he likes them, I can make more because he sent me a lot. There's a ton of yardage. I've got enough for like 4 pair of socks. Both in this, like, it says it's gray, but honestly, if you look at it, it kind of looks like a gray-brown heather. Is it showing up? I'm not sure. Oh, there's cardigan. So that's just kind of been setting aside in my I want to forget about it pile. See, this is cardigan. And to Knit and Wolf on Instagram, she sends her love to Fuji. And I send all my prayers to Fuji that she gets better. Nobody likes a sick pet. What? You can come sit up here. My little cardigan. The other thing I've been working on is this tangled mess. I made the mistake of starting a pair of socks while my husband was driving, and he got frustrated when we got lost because he can't follow a GPS to save his life. So I stuffed it in my purse, and this is what happened. And they're just going to be basic afterthought heel socks. This is Toe Footsies. I don't know. There isn't a colorway, I don't think, on Toe Footsies. I don't have the label anymore. It's just like a blue, pretty color, like a denim. I don't know if this is going to stripe yet. It doesn't say self-striping or anything. The last pair of Toe Footsies that I made didn't say self-striping, and they had like this diagonal striping pattern going all the way through it. I am having another love-hate relationship. My friend Nancy works at Divine Yarn. It's a yarn store down in Shipshewana, Indiana. So if you're ever in Shipshewana, check it out. Much love. There's these 2 balls of yarn, and they're both the same. She'd gotten them on sale or clearance at Big Lots or something a couple years ago to make socks out of. And they're pretty similar in color. They have the same colors. The only thing is this one, you can definitely tell is shinier. So I'm not going to knit one sock out of this and one sock out of this because then she's just going to have a mismatched pair. So I had started and was doing it, every other round, I would switch back and forth. And you can see on the inside where there's, maybe on this side, yeah, you can see where there's this trail going up. Maybe if I hold it right, there's this trail on the inside. You can't see it on the outside, just on the inside. And it was going good until the yarn just kept wanting. Oh no, it's on this side. You can see it. Yeah, here's the trail where the yarn gets carried all the way up. And the problem I had was if I do an afterthought heel, I'm going to end up losing an entire row because of how the yarn is being carried. So I wasn't quite sure. And then if I did like a short row heel or even a heel with a gusset, I would only end up using one of the yarns. Excuse me. So my thought was maybe that if I restarted, I could do the toes, the heels, and the cuffs for the socks in one color, and then the main part of the foot, and then the main part of the leg in the other color, and maybe that would work. I think it should work. I think it'd be kind of cool to do shiny toes and heels, and then not shiny regular feet. Excuse me. So, yeah, those are my works in progress. That's what I've been doing here lately. What I have on my waiting list right now, I just purchased another pattern by Martina Bem. It's her new one, Miss Winkle. God love Martina Bem. All of her patterns are fantastic. I have like 4 or 5 of them. I've done Trillion, I've done Brickless, I've done Hitchhiker. I'm going to do Lintilla. I was gifted the Lintilla pattern, so I'm going to do that one. I also want to do 22.5. I'm not sure if I want to do Little Clouds. I'm not sure yet on that one. But I did purchase her new pattern that I want to do. My dog's trying to get through my window. No. So those are on my waiting list. I've been doing a lot of shawl knitting to try to make Christmas just a little bit cheaper. The economy sucks right now where we're at. And I'm not able to work because I am allergic to the heat. I found out in June. Yes, June. I found out I'm allergic to the heat. And so I can't work. There's just too many work restrictions I have with all the illnesses I have, that I can't work. So I've decided that I'm going to do a lot of knitting for Christmas gifts. I've completed a couple shawls already. I made a hitchhiker in a variegated yarn. I've got pictures on Instagram of that one for my little sister, by Love, for Christmas. I'm working on the other hitchhiker for my stepsister-in-law for Christmas. I think I'm going to make a hitchhiker. Yes, on my waiting list, I'm going to make another hitchhiker by Martina Bem for my sister-in-law. I'm working on a baby blanket for my sister brother-in-law and her new baby. But then I think I'm going to make a brickless for my stepmother-in-law, a trillion for my mother-in-law. I'm not sure yet what I'm going to make for my mother. But yeah, I've been working on a lot of those. Finished objects. You stay right there, okay? She's such a mama's girl, I swear. You can't see her, but she just won't stay out of my lap. I have a big old box here of my stuff. Finished objects. I guess they're not really finished because I haven't blocked them yet, but I don't know how to block them, so I've got to talk to a friend of mine who will show me. I don't know, anybody who follows me on Instagram, I made some yarn that I had dyed and called Northern Lights. So that is what I made my brickless out of. It's like blue and like a pale mint color and purple. It's sport weight, almost worsted. Smells like Kool-Aid because that's what I used. I only had 275 yards, so I could only get through um, 3 total pattern repeats. Like here's the beginning, here's my end. So it's not very big. See, yeah, fat rolls galore. But I mean, I'm sure if I blocked it, it'll be a little bit bigger. I just have to figure out how to do that. I also completed. Oh, it's 100% wool. I think. Yeah, it's 100% wool. This would be Trillium. Oh, and that was spun on a wheel. That was spun on Freya. This is my Trillium. Let go of it. It's quite a decent length. This is all hand spun. It's not as long as I would have liked it to be. I only got to like 110 stitches on the needle before I did the bind off or the edging. Once again, I can probably block it and make it a little bit bigger. Bigger girls need bigger shawls. But there's so much more of me to love. This is all hand spun. It was spun on my drop spindle. It was like 300 yards or 350 yards, something like that. It is so soft. I don't know if you can see the halo that it has. Yeah, because it is. Stop it. It is wool, merino, alpaca, and bunny. So I think Angora. I don't know. I'm so new to this that I don't know all the terms. I thought I was somewhat of an expert at knitting, which I could knit anything. But when it came into spinning, that was a whole new dimension. There's like no relativity. So yeah. Spinning. I have completed a couple things. If you are on Instagram and you follow me, you've obviously seen my stuff. I have finished some stuff, which I will show you. Pardon the crinkle. I don't know if you can hear it. This is Sweet Treat. I hand dyed the roving, spun it. It is 100% wool with flash, so it's sparkly. Yeah, let's get right up in there. Yeah, so that is Sweet Treat. This is Spring Fling, and it is 450 yards of hand plied cotton. So I got crochet cotton at a yard sale and plied it up and everything, and it's got green and pink and white. So that's 450 yards. This is 300 yards. So Sweet Treat is 300 yards. Be My Valentine. It's reds and oranges and blues. I have no idea what my dog just did. This is about 270 yards. So far, they're all fingering weight, from what I can tell. It might be like a thick fingering weight. No, I'd say it's fingering weight. Then I know you all saw the contest yarn. Grab bag is what I called it. I went to the Michigan Fiber Festival, and there was this lady with a booth. She had all these big tote buckets filled with odd and end fibers and everything, and you got these little Ziploc bags and you stuffed them as full as you could get them, and it was $3 a bag, or you could get 2 for $5, so I got 4 at a discount, and completely filled 2 bobbins when I singled it, and it's got sparkle in it. I know there's wool, there's definitely merino and alpaca, and it was all different colors and everything. There's sparkle, there's tinsel, there's everything, and the colors are just so fun. Part of me kind of wants to keep it for myself and knit something out of it. It's 600 yards of fingering weight. It's all pretty consistent. I'm getting very good on I'm getting better on my consistency. I don't want to like toot my own horn there. Sneak peek. Wait a minute. There it is. Sneak peek. This is going into the shop today. It's more like a DK weight. I call it hipster. Because the super bright neon colors and everything, they were felting mixes that I bought and spun up. It's all 100% wool. It's 200 yards. I'd say it's about a DK weight. It's just a little bit heavier than fingering, but not quite a sport weight. It also had a little bit left over for a mini skein, so it's definitely enough to make up like a hexi puff. I mean, if you decrease the number of stitches from like 10 to maybe 8 or 9, you definitely have enough. Because I make worsted weight hexi puffs, and I cast on 16, so I use 8 stitches per needle instead of 10, and they come out about the same size. So this would definitely, if you did like 8 or 9 stitches, this would definitely be enough for a hexapuff, or even like a trimming on a baby hat. That'd be really cute too. Might be a giveaway or something. Yeah, that's another thing. I've been doing contests here lately, and I want to try and do a contest every week to kind of like get people moving on Instagram. Like, nobody really talks. I know it's not Facebook, but I really hate Facebook. There's so much drama and crap on there. Pardon my use of the word crap. But it's awful. I don't use it except to keep in touch with certain people. I like Instagram better, and I noticed that I spend a lot more time on Instagram than I do on Facebook. When I went to Facebook and tried to double tap on a picture to like it, didn't work. That's when I knew I had a problem. Do I want help? No. I'm going to be posting Hipster into the shop today. And I will probably be I'm going to start a Ravelry group, just for fun, doing contests and giveaways and fun things like that. Knit-alongs, not anything major. I just kind of want to promote my shop and make friends and get people together. But I might just leave it to Ravelry. I'm not too sure. You can always email me and tell me your comments and everything like that. So yeah, I think this will be my next contest giveaway. It kind of looks like blue jeans, like a denim, but it's got a little tiny bit of sparkle. It is so not showing the colors the way that I want it to, because it's showing it as like a dark blue, and there is a dark blue, but there's also some turquoise in there, and it's really kind of pretty. So yeah, those are what I've spun here lately. The only thing that isn't in the shop is Hipster, and that'll be in the shop today. What I have to spin, part of the grab bags that I found at the Fiber Festival, which I didn't even know it when I grabbed it because I've not yet seen them to recognize it, because it was so mangled, but it was so soft. But I came across this silk hanky, and it's quite thick. Like, I've already drafted some, but it pretty much fills this bag, this little baggie. I think I'm going to use my drop spindle and spin it and ply it into a 100% silk mini skein, which would make a fantastic hexie puff. That would be fun. I also have, this is my, I'll take it out of the bag so that you can see it better. All of my rovings are hand-dyed by me, unless I say otherwise. This is my Oktoberfest colorway. It was originally called Maple Leaf, But then I realized, in the summertime, maple leaves are green. So, yep, this is Oktoberfest. It reminded me of fall. So this is going to be spun up. I do have the same fiber in my shop. This is not that fiber. It's the same colorway, but I'm going to spin it. So I'll have one of Oktoberfest in the roving and one of Oktoberfest in the yarn. I think, I'm not positive. Yep. This one is my Mermaid Cove. It's purples and reds and it kind of looks like a mermaid tail or something. Kind of reminds me of the rainbow fish from those children's books. I don't know if you ever remember the fish with all the shiny scales, and he gave one to everybody so that everybody could be shiny too. I could have that totally wrong though. But yeah, this is what this looks like. I got a little bit of stuff in there. Oh, well, that's gonna get spun up. I might just spin everything up and ply it together and see what I get, just because all the colors coordinate. I kind of aimed for that, but I think it would be a lot of fun. See, I've got little bits here that have come off. I think this is a little bit of mystery ink, which Kay and Pixels on Instagram had purchased, which I want to see pictures, Missy, of what it looks like finished up. I think this is this is Coral Reef. Pinks for the coral, the blue for the water. You get the picture. I dyed it. It's 100% wool. Just little bits, like 2 ounces, maybe an ounce. Throwing everything in the wrong spot. See, like this is part of Mystery Ink. My little sister said it reminded her of Scooby-Doo because the oranges and the reds and the blues and the purples and everything. This one gives you a better idea of what I'm talking about. Like the purple would be like Daphne's dress, the orange for Velma, the blue for the ascot on Freddy, green for the Mystery Machine, red, I don't know. But you get the point on that one. This is Blue Lagoon. That is also getting spun out. Just a second, my husband's trying to call me.